you you should be, as everybody else should be. As you grow older, these walls get weak. Again, that's why the title of our series is called what? Building strength. Because as a rule, we are getting weaker. So we want to counter that, or we want to at least reduce the incline, so to speak, of the deterioration. We want to ensure that we do everything we can to be strong. So as we grow older, these walls become weaker.
So the walls of the intestine and so on, they become weaker.
Yes. In addition to that, our enzymes, we secrete less and fewer enzymes. That's another reason why we have bloating, for instance. And so the food that comes in through the guts isn't digested as well as it should be many times. And that's why some of the reasons why we have bloating. Here's the problem. If the food isn't digested well, and we have weak walls, there's something, the undigested food particles actually create another problem. In many cases, it can cause they call it what is known as an immune reaction. And it begins to react and damage the lining of the guts.
So the lining of the gut is weak, then when food does not digest well, it begins to corrode again.
It begins to corrode the gut. And eventually, there's something, begins to form small holes in the lining of the guts.
Oh, and the undigested food begins to escape.
And the undigested food begins to escape into the bloodstream. Oh, okay, we probably won't be able to see that, but it escapes into the bloodstream. So let's say this is the bloodstream here. So it escapes into the bloodstream. What happens then?
That's trouble.
That's trouble, yes. This is called leaky guts. Some experts think that up to 80% of us have leaky guts. It's probably worse in the developed countries where they eat a lot of processed foods with chemicals, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we are exempt in African countries. Once it enters the bloodstream, the immune system automatically recognizes it as foreign, and the immune system begins to form what they call complexes, and they begin to try and attack the food, because that's the job of the immune system.
Something foreign.
Anything that's not supposed to be anything that's not supposed to be there has to be taken out, and they attack, and this causes problems widespread, including the brain. And so people have come up with all kinds of sometimes autoimmune conditions, sometimes rheumatoid arthritis. Some people have diabetes. A lot of it is because this aspect of the body, the digestive system,
is not functioning
optimally. So a lot of things that need to be done, and well, you have to clean up your diet, you have to check out, maybe you have to do tests to see what you're allergic to. Once you're having an allergy to anything and you keep on eating it, I can guarantee you that you're affecting your gut in one way or the other. So that's very important.
Wait. Just to emphasize that if you're allergic to anything and you keep eating it.
Keep eating it.
So you eat something and then you get some itches.
Itches, or you get a stomach ache, or a headache, and all that.
That's a signal from the system that this is not good for you.
It's not good for your system.
But maybe it's good in your mouth. but those signals.
But it doesn't stay there.
Those signals are powerful enough to warn you to stop eating these things.
And if you keep on doing that over time, again, because this thing can eventually get into the bloodstream, it can cause other problems in the rest of your body. And a lot of people are beginning to see that.
So allergies are like the part of the body's signal alarm system.
Yes, sir. That's kind of in fact, that's a really good way to describe it. I don't want us to end this segment without talking about the teeth.
Okay.
Because your mouth is the gateway into the rest of the digestive system. Yes. What dentists are finding out, another experts too are finding out, that the health of your gum,
indicates the health of the entire system.
The health of the entire system. As a matter of fact, they're finding that people, if you have gingivitis, that's inflammation of the gum. People who don't take care of their teeth properly, who have regular infections, who bleed easily when they brush their teeth, who have a lot of fillings, especially the mercury fillings.
Mercury fillings, yes.
Dangerous. We're now beginning to see that that's not the best way to treat your mouth. They are finding out that this actually can cause direct damage to both the brain and to the heart. As a matter of fact, poor oral hygiene has been listed as one of the indicators and the risk factors for heart disease and Alzheimer's disease. Alzheimer's disease especially. In fact, I had a webinar with a dentist, one of the brilliant dentists, talking about many of the conditions that they have linked poor dental hygiene or gingivitis and other infections in the mouth too. Amongst them was even premature births. Premature births, think about
associated with poor dental hygiene,
poor dental hygiene, yes. There's a huge amount of research out there. So what I want to tell our viewers is this. I've noticed one thing about Nigerians in particular, that we only brush our teeth
in the morning.
And research is saying that it's
supposed to be the other way around.
Maybe be better to brush at night. No, you should brush your teeth twice a day. As a rule, you should brush your teeth twice a day. But if you're going to brush it only once,
it should be in the night.
It should be in the night.
Well, after all the things
you've eaten, because it's during the night that, again, during the night is when we cleanse our bodies, and those things be like 8 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours. Those things are there in your mouth fermenting. And they can be the breeding place for bad bacteria, and they can cause all kinds of issues. So it's very, very important that we brush our teeth at night.
So the digestive system beginning from the teeth.
Yes, it's beginning from the teeth.
It begins from the teeth. As you put it in your mouth, digestion begins. And so if the digestive system is not in order, then every other part of the body, the brain system, the hormonal system, the immune system, everything is compromised.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's so important that people understand it. Another thing people should do is they should floss their teeth, because don't you say like almost 40% of your teeth is not reached by your
brush,
by a toothbrush.
So
you need something to go in between, and toothpicks alone can't do that.
I do every night.
You do it,
like I do every night.
You are an enlightened soul.
Every night. Every night. Antiseptic flush.
That's fantastic, and viewers need to understand that as well. Just because these are all these small things, they may think that they're just small, irrelevant things. But remember our quote: ignorance and complacency are the key things that disrupt our health. Right now, we're not doing very well. We're at the age of 54 is the average age for Nigerians now.
We have improved. It was 47 a couple of years ago. So we are now 54. That's some progress.
That's some progress.
But our friends in Japan are doing 90,
That's
95.
Right. That's right. With no pains and nothing to worry about. So we have a long way to go. But I think with the more people get informed, the more they take control of their health, the better their lives will be.
I mean, this is interesting. Dr. Ajibade has taught us that our guts, the digestive system of our bodies, is so important because it is interconnected, particularly with our brains, and then our endocrine system, and then our immune system. If we don't get it right, if we eat junk, if we put junk into our system, if our colons are congested or clogged up, then our brains can't function well. And particularly instructive is what he said about dementia patients, children with autism, or some mental issues. Perhaps we need to begin to look into and investigate the guts. Because if we don't, the cause of the problem, or a major part of the problem, may actually be in the guts. This has been very, very enlightening, and we still have to go a session on the cardiovascular system. That will be the next session. It has been wonderful, Dr. Ajibade, having you in the studio once again.
Thank you, Father.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.